West up, West up. It's coast to coast. I'm Alvin Eddington Jr. from Los Angeles, California.
Jonathan Leonard from the great state of Florida, living in H-Town, Texas.
Christina Moore from LA, living in the Bay.
I'm Vince Ford, originally from Dallas, Texas. Lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and now I live in Columbus, Ohio, the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Brother Carlos Jackson, Bay Area, California. Earth is my turf, town business.
West, West. All right, so we are coast to coast. And so I guess we'll start off with how do we even get started? And so for me, we started off as a ministry for my church. It was a prayer call. The sermon series was on holiness, and is the holiness? I forget exactly. The sermon series was on sex. The sermon series was on sex, and so they wanted the singles to have a place where they can have a conversation throughout the series, dealing with holiness and sexiness. Like holiness is sexy, right? And so we had a prayer call, and it was every, I believe it was Wednesday initially. It's every Wednesday during the duration of the sermon series. And after the sermon series was over, one of the young ladies, shout out to Tasha King, she was like, how can we keep this going? It was a majority singles that were young adults, and in different phases of life, and they wanted something that they could keep going, because singles really don't have a lot going on, especially young adult singles, as it pertains to church stuff. So they want to keep it going. And they asked me, as a married man and a minister, though, would I keep it going? So that's how we got started. She's like, can we keep it going? I was like, bet, let's keep it going. But if we're going to have longevity, I know me. 3 months of me just doing it, I'm going to get worn out, and I have a pool of people I can pull from. But if I expand who I am somehow, some way, and let other people pull in their people as well, then it could be bigger than just a local LA thing. So I reached out to Loso. I was like, Loso, this is what we're doing. This is where it's at, young adult, singles, and who else you think? And he was like, Vince and this dude from Houston, Leno. I was like, who? And he's like, Leno. I was like, oh, okay, I trust you. And so that's pretty much how it got started, man. It got started from a sermon series, and the title of the single sermon was Holiness is Sexy. So the group started off as his. If you guys have been a part of the group on Facebook, it used to be his, Holiness is Sexy. That's where that came from. And so now we're coast to coast because we're literally coast to coast.
I think, one of the things too is that, I think about now and, the convenience that Zoom provides. I think we all have, contributed in our own way. But, I definitely gotta, shout out to Leno on this one because of his innovation, if you will. Like he had been trying to get us to move to Zoom for a minute. And we kind of drug our feet a little bit or dragged. I don't know, depending on where you're from in the country. You might say either or. But we were kind of slow grooving with that. And so like now, it's kind of like it's all I really know. It's like getting on Zoom on Thursdays is like second nature. But I think like, man, we really used to like dial in to a conference call line, and teach on a conference call line and get feedback on the conference call line. And then we made that transition, which is why, I just really believe in this ministry and this mission, because we transitioned to Zoom even before we even knew what COVID-19 coronavirus was or is, right? And so I think it was just a preparation that just showed the innovation. And, just smart on your end, Al, because, like you said, 3 months doing something every week by yourself, with all of the other responsibilities that you have as it pertains to ministry and family, like, yeah, anybody would throw in the towel. So believe this is God breathed, and I believe that it's God centered, and I'm thankful to be a part of the group.
Tag me in, Vince.
Hey, you got it, man. It's your world. It was kind of funny when we were doing the intros. It felt like I was watching Monday Night Football.
Yeah, man. I appreciate Alvin for this ministry and the good believers and saints at Metro and Carson, because this was just a West Coast LA Center thing. And then Alvin reached out, I'm up here in the Bay, and Alvin is like my big brother. I met Alvin in, what was that, 2009, 2010. We was in SoCal, and I just saw this dude. He was young, but I knew he was older than me. He was talking about hip hop with the scriptures, and I was like, man, this dude's spitting. And we've been locked in ever since. And so I've always appreciated Alvin's, person, his character. So when he told me about this ministry, I was excited to be a part of it. And then, we was able to get some folks from West Oakland on, and Christina was on early. You know what I'm saying? So we've been rocking for a minute, and thanks to the Holy Spirit, thank you, Holy Spirit. We was able to connect with some believers throughout the country.
Yeah, and when Los invited me, it actually started back in 2000. I think it was 6 when I met Los in Atlanta at a national college conference. And, we met each other. Time went by, we connected on Facebook. But anyway, fast forward to 2015, I think. I took a trip out to Oakland and to the Bay Area. And Los and the people, they took good care of me. And he told me about this call. I was like, cool, I'll join. But I'm in Houston, so, it's 2 hours later. And man, I was like, ooh, this 9:30 thing is getting to me. But I stayed because the content was so good, and because the people, honestly, like, that was the biggest thing. And I've been able to develop relationships with my folks on the West Coast and across the country as well, and even stay on, even though my big bro Alvin, he give me a hard time, but it's cool.
Careful, bro.
All
Be
love.
careful.
Go ahead, Christina.
Sorry, I was on mute, y'all. I first heard about the call through word of mouth. I think I missed the first invite, but soon after I heard about it, West Oakland was doing ministry, and a bunch of the young adults were talking about this call they had been on where there was great dialogue about Christian dating. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I want to learn more about it. So I eventually got the invite and I tapped in early on, and I was grateful for the space because I feel like there's always a necessity. I was kind of in that age group where, you're not a youth for sure, you're kind of a young adult. And yeah, it just wasn't a lot of spaces available for us. And my journey is a little bit different because I fell off for a little bit. But as my walk with God grew stronger, I had the desire to hear the word and to be in spaces like that. So I rejoined, and like Vince said, now it's just like a given. I'm there on Thursdays, I'm there on Thanksgiving, I'm there if it falls on a holiday. It's just something that I look forward to and I'm always encouraged by. So I'm super grateful for this space.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, like, it's an example of God doing exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think, according to the power that works within us, right? A lot of people quote that scripture and they leave out the part of the power that works within us. And I don't think that even Tasha or the early people who were on the call expected it to be in its 5th year. Like, we're 4.5 years strong. And prior to January 2020, we were, dialing in faithfully, right? And so, I just, when you guys, some of you guys said how the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit has really birthed this ministry. It really was. Because, I don't know why I wanted to sustain it when I was like, oh, I need more people. I need, some other young adults who are tapped in to build this thing out. I wanted 4 guys at first, right? When we started, like, so 4 guys, that's 1 per quarter, and we can keep it going. I didn't expect it to be, 5 years. I didn't. It exceeded my expectation. I was waiting for it to fall off, but it couldn't. It was, the dialogue is rich, conversations, the people who who have come in and year out, great people. People talk about this call, who never even been on the call. And so, whatever God is doing with it, we're just along for the ride. And he's definitely been taking us on this joy ride for a minute now. My friendships have gotten stronger with Los and Vince, and they've grown with Christina and Jonathan. Like, man, talking about Jonathan, we've never met, but people can swear like we've been bros forever. And it's really based off this call. And so, man, I'm just, I've been blessed to be able to be a part of it and to see God working in such a miraculous way, not only through me, but, what I get from the call. It's really amazing. I'm having a nostalgic moment right now. Like, dang, we really are, man, we really are something special.
Yeah, it for me, it came at the proper time. It came at a time where, like, I really needed positive ministry, because 2015, 2016 were very, very rough spots for me as it pertains to ministry. And so having this, it was like a highlight. After I got fired for my first work, I was like, man, I don't know what my next pulpit gonna look like, but I got space to be me and continue to sharpen my skills with my Coast to Coast family. And so it was beautiful how it just kind of aligned. And then too, one of the things that I've noticed too, especially with young adults that I've been able to serve, whether that was in Dallas or Phoenix, or it's like I have a resource for you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're like, yo, like I need a devotion. I need to hear a good word. Like, yo, every Thursday at this time, like you got an opportunity to really align yourself with a positive space. And first of all, first and foremost, as black folks, as Christians, especially Christians, on the younger end of the spectrum, still searching and trying to figure things out. I think a lot of times, man, like it's very difficult to find those organic, safe spaces that aren't the same message every single time. And I think that's beneficial because, I'm gonna be honest, if the message is the same, I tune it out. Like I gotta hear something that's gonna equip me. And when you think about being equipped, like it takes different equipment for the terrain that you're about to walk into, man. So, I'm thankful. I feel like God has given us the discernment to just level up at the right time. We don't it's like we don't have to search for the leveling up. We can just level up, right? Like, all right, we transitioned to Zoom. Boom, pandemic hit. We already got a space. With the addition of Christina, boom. Look at that month. Like that month was a legendary month. I don't think that our context in the Church of Christ has ever seen anything like that. I'm talking 30 to 40 young adults from all over the country on a call every Thursday night without fail, giving feedback, just really getting it in. I've never seen anything like it. Even some of the young adults that I have that tap in every now and then, um, have never seen anything like it. And like you said, I just believe we got something special.
I agree. And I relate to a lot of what you were saying. I was at a difficult place in my life too when I came back around. I initially said that, it was at a time where I was drawing closer to God, but I was doing that because there was so much going on in my life. It was around the time that my dad got sick. And, I'm super grateful for Los and his persistence because, he would always be there posting the Thursday night call and letting us know to tap in and reminding us, even though, week after week we may not have returned. So I'm super grateful for the space. And I'm particularly grateful for the intimacy that we have within the space. It's one thing, and it's awesome that we can come together on Sundays and Wednesdays and worship, but often and do Bible study, but often we're in larger group settings. So I just appreciate this smaller space where we can get together and we can, unpack the word and like really get into it and talk about it. Cause, it's not a lot of opportunity to do that. And another thing that I appreciated you all doing from the very beginning was giving sisters a space to, share a word and to, giving us a space where we can offer feedback and we can, share the knowledge that we have and we can minister to one another, which has been a huge blessing.
Yeah, it's a couple things. Well, there's really a lot of things I love about it, but there are three things that really stick out to me about the call. First thing is it's a safe space. So, one of the criticisms of the church is that when people go to a building and they may be dressed a certain way or they may have their hair a certain way, and sometimes they feel judged for what they look like, what they have on. And the Thursday night call really offers a safe space for people. People don't judge you for your struggles because guess what? We all struggling with something. And that's important. It makes people feel comfortable with sharing, which is the second thing I love about it. The transparency that we share on the Thursday night call is amazing. And the reason transparency is so critical is because when you share what you've gone through or what you're going through or what you've been through, other people usually have been through that same thing or are going through that same thing or, in the past have gone through that. And it's really a great place. I mean, I've heard people talk about them struggling in their marriage, and I've heard people talk about them dealing with, substance abuse. And I've heard people talk about a whole bunch of things that they struggle with, which again, you don't normally hear in the quote unquote corporate worship setting. And it's just nice to know that other people are dealing with things because we know that people are dealing with things. Sometimes we don't know what it is, but it's nice to know that other people are dealing with what you are sometimes dealing with. That's wonderful. And then the last part is just the way it guides my spiritual walk. So one, I look forward to every Thursday night because this is my family. Like, regardless if they in California all the way to Florida, y'all my spiritual family. And I appreciate the lessons, first of all, for the different voices that we have. And there's just always a unique perspective, whether it be from the facilitator that evening or from someone who's participating and who lends their voice as a comment. Like, you never know what your comments or what your lesson can do for someone else. I've been blessed so much just by, again, our facilitators and folks that join us on Thursday nights is tremendous. And I really do appreciate that.
Man, y'all too serious on this thing, man. I'm gonna lighten it up. Look, if nobody knew us and they had to watch our social medias, they'd think we were enemies, right? The way me and Vince go back and forth about sports and music. Leno was my brother. He know this. But man, Leno used to pick on me about the Warriors back in the early years. And I used to be like, man, why does this dude keep messing with me, man? And it turned out to be all love. And me and Christina, we always go back and forth because let me tell it, she ain't got no good taste when it comes to food. You know what I'm saying? But that's if you let me tell it. But anyway, I love the Thursday call because no matter how much we laugh and joke and argue with each other, Thursday is the one day I know we're going to see each other and it's going to be real, genuine love. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in 2017 when I quit my job. I was on my job 17 years, man, and I had to walk away. And it was a Thursday night. I quit on a Thursday, and I knew I had to speak that night. And I was like, man, I just got to be real with them. I got to tell them where I'm at, man. I don't even think I prepared a lesson. I was just like, y'all, I quit my job. Been there 17 years. I don't know what's next. And my wife and I had just moved into this, nice residence. And really, I was nervous as heck, man, but y'all was there for me, man. Y'all was encouraging. Y'all was praying. Y'all would check in on me. And, I went 11 months of pulling my hair out, back in 2018. And when I got the job, y'all was really there for me again. So this call has been more than just, educational and more than just, chopping it up, man. Y'all been really there for me. So that's why I really love this call.
Man, Los, I think you said something like really important. I think that's the cool thing about the group is that, that's what family does. We can pick at each other and y'all can, y'all pick at me for having so many different sport teams. I mean, and it's all love. I know where my heart lies, and the Lord knows my heart.
Oh, you know.
He knows, and it resides in the great city of Dallas, Texas, as you can see behind me.
So we can't see.
My Cowboy shield and my Mavericks hat, and my Cowboy pillow and my Emmitt Smith bobblehead. But I mean, I feel like I can be me, right? I can rattle off a dad joke, and it can be corny as all get out, right? But it's me. It's who I am. It's a place where I can be me, and that's one of the things about being in ministry, like being in that senior role for me. Like it's like you always got to have your game face on. You always got to have your game face on, and in this place, I have my game face on because when it's my turn to teach, I'm really trying to empower my peers, which I feel and sometimes is harder than doing what I do on Sunday morning because everybody's in so many different places. You know, if you look at somebody that's over the age of 70, pretty much all 70-year-olds are kind of in that same place in life, if you will, for the most part. But I mean, it's a myriad of people. Like we got folks in school, grad school, married, kids, no kids, all sorts of stuff, traveling, trying to figure it out. And so really trying to fit a word in that space is really unique. But it's a space where I just feel like young adults can be young adults, man. No matter how many football teams you have, man, or how many basketball teams that you support, it's all love.
This guy. But look, so so look, this is it right here. As far as this, you guys, man, like my wife was straight trying to leave me, bro. And this call, like, like y'all just don't know. Like it's real, it's like real life. It's like when I came to church, when I came to the church, because I didn't grow up in the churches of Christ, right? So when I came to the churches of Christ, I expected family, right? And I didn't expect the organization of the church. I expected, just this new family. And in some spaces, I had that. We had discipleship groups and we had small groups. And so in those smaller settings, we were able to have family. But as the church, which was a church plant, started to grow, we kind of escaped that, right? And so, I found myself just being a church guy. Like I go to church, do church things, not build, all my friends are church people now, but I'm not really building and growing with like family like that. This call brought me back to that space of like, okay, I love church people again, like love, like family. And I love my church family. Don't get me wrong. We can do some things, talk about some things, but I'm not as close to them, honestly, as I am to people on a call that I've never been. And I think that's because the consistency of week after week, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, we'll tap in and just pray. It's like we need each other and we know it. And so, when I was going through my issues in my marriage, being able to come to this space and say, look, I'm struggling in my marriage. I didn't go in front of the church, say, brothers and sisters, pray for me. I came to this group. I came to this Thursday call. And on this Thursday call, I was like, look, struggling. So this is what's going on. This is where I'm at. And I need y'all to see me go through this. I need y'all to see me believe and have faith in this. I need y'all to see me because I'm the big homie. I'm the oldest guy. I'm the elder. I'm the bishop of the group, right? I need y'all to see me go through some real stuff, and I need y'all to go through it with me. And I need y'all to hold me up, and I also need y'all to see victory. My marriage is really, to be honest with you, I think part of the reason why my marriage was saved because I felt like this was my church, that this group was my church, and I couldn't let my church down. So I was going to win my wife back because other people in the church needed to see a relationship rebound. And so this group really, man, it really sustained me through a real rough 3 months, man. I knew I couldn't wild out because I had a responsibility to own up to the person who I said that I was. On this Thursday night call, I had to own up to being that man. I had to like not be out there in them streets wilding out and saying, "Oh, she don't want me, forget her. And let me go pull another one." I don't chase somebody, replace them. I couldn't do that. I had to come with this call and say, "Hey, I need help. Y'all pray for me." So, man, I know that came out of nowhere, but this call really has, man, like been a blessing on so many different fronts for me. And I'm highly appreciative. And the transition from singles only to married folks and singles was big too, because most of us, me, Los, and Vince married. We were teaching, but we were only inviting single people. Like married people need this too, and so allowing married people to come in there also was a big transition for us. On top of the biggest transition is having this beautiful sister here, come on board, man. I just think the sky's the limit.
Hey, real quick, man, while you talked about family, another reason why you and I bonded was because I literally showed you a picture of my biological brother, and you look like my biological brother, you talk like my biological brother, like you reminded me of my brother, and I didn't get a chance to grow up with my brother because he grew up in Compton and I was up here. So we didn't get close till after my dad died back in '03. But yeah, man, I didn't have brothers growing up, man. So I really appreciated, having brothers. Like I consider y'all like brothers. People think I got like 30 brothers because I don't say, oh, that's my brother in Christ or that's my church brother. I'm like, nah, that's my brother. Leno, I call him, that's my brother. You feel me? So it's love.
Yeah, Al definitely act like the big brother because he be ganging up on me, and then he get Vince to come along and try to get me. But Los, man, that's my dog, and he be putting on for me, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm, feeling relatively new, but it's been cool getting to know all of you better. And again, just appreciating the space that you all are creating for women. And I'll just say that before I was getting to know y'all, I used to feel so bad for Jonathan when Alvin used to say stuff until I was able to see a little bit more that Jonathan pokes the bear a little bit. So my eyes are open now.
I just respond to what's given to me. That's all. So you always catch the second person, which is usually me. That's fine though.
No. Let's make it clear. She just said she used to think it was me. She used to feel bad because I'd be on your head. But she sees the first foul, the flagrant foul that happened before it's always you. I'm just responding to what you putting out. So her eyes are open. She is now, she took the red pill, brother. She's in there now, so she see the truth. So you can't lie. You can lie to some folks, but you can't lie to all of folks.
Hey, time out, man. Time out. Look, Leno do have a slight. He got a little beef, man, because every time you come to LA, you mysteriously be out of town or you mysteriously be at work, and Leno's trying to pull up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Soon as you get high in the town, hey, let's hook up, let's connect.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Leno, man. Hey, man, I was in LA, and Leno was in LA, and I ain't seen Leno. So,
nah, man, what was this?
Bro, we was both in LA at the same time. You don't remember?
Nah,
I remember.
I don't think
I remember. I was at work. I didn't even see Vince. I didn't see Vince. You was out here probably, you married now, so I ain't gonna say what you was probably out here doing. But you came to LA, you didn't see none of us, bro. You didn't even go to church. I mean, you didn't go to church that week.
I did go to church. Thank you
What
very
church?
much.
Where'd you go to church at?
I don't remember the name of it, but no. Here's how I know I was there, because they had a guest minister from Detroit. I can't think of his name, but they were doing a men's conference that week.
Oh, that was Crenshaw. He said he was at the same. He said he was
I was at the same event, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see you, bro. Here's another way. So
he saw the flyer.
He saw
the flyer.
This lady walked up to me and said, "Are you Lionel Sims?" I was like, "Who is that?" And then y'all told me that's like my twin.
Yeah, that's your doppelganger, bro. Definitely. Yeah, y'all look like y'all could be family. Y'all from, like my wife say, y'all from the same tribe. Yeah. You know, it's interesting though when we think about this call. Um, and you know, a good question was posed that I mean, obviously I don't want to end on a bad note, but disappointments. Uh, I don't think we really talk about them. I think we just kind of keep it moving. Um, but I mean, is have we ever experienced disappointment on the call? Have we ever walked away from a call or been in a moment where we're like, dang, you know, that hurt, right? Or I don't like that.
I don't think I've had a moment with the call um, where I've been disappointed with. I can't say I've ever been like, we've had so many calls. I don't think I've even been disappointed with a lesson per se. I do remember one lesson. I'm not going to say it was one lesson I was disappointed in, but that was on me because I trusted someone who I had never heard teach before, um, and who wanted the who kind of wanted. Never mind. So, but disappointments. My disappointments are more missing people who are no longer a part of the group than it is actually being disappointed in a call, a lesson, our interaction. Um, you know, I miss people, right? Like there's some people who were there for, you know, for a good while, and you know, life is taking them in a different direction, and so I miss those people. So I'm disappointed that, you know, those people aren't still a part of, you know, the call or part of the space, because you know, we became family. So a part of my heart, you know, like I'm always wondering about, where's this person? You know, why she no longer in the group, or why he's no longer in a group, and even though it's not personal, it's like it is personal. Like I miss them. I miss their voice, miss their laughter, I miss their prayer. And so for me, it's more of missing people. I've been disappointed that not that our numbers aren't 150, but that we've lost people along the way, because this call has been such a blessing for me. I'm like, man, like, you know, everybody, you know, once you attach yourself to this call, I would think, I would hope that something about the call would at least bring you back. Like, you know, Christina came back, right? Um, I miss the people who haven't come back. And there have been a number who were a part of it, who were, foundationally a part of it, and who are gone. So I'm disappointed in that, but I haven't been disappointed in anything other than Jonathan.
Since he called my name, I'll speak on it. No disappointments, really. I think we've had lessons learned for sure over the past 4.5 years. Um, we are always, open to constructive criticism about our topics, our lessons. To Al's point, there are certain people when we don't see them on a call, we're worried. Sometimes people are going through things, and yeah, just like Al said, losing people. But yeah, I think it's been more lessons learned for me, at least, on this is basically like a virtual church. So what keeps people coming back, and what can we do to make sure people are getting what they need and that we're feeding them. Not everybody's going to want to eat. So I realize not everybody's going to come back and are going to come all the time, but are we doing everything we can to make sure people have what they need? And then also that feeling of community, because, you could preach the world's greatest sermon, and if people don't feel like they're cared about, if people don't feel like people love them, then they're not going to want to be a part of your community. And so, how can we, especially in this virtual environment, we're so far apart, how can we create that community that people really are drawn to, and really what the Bible teaches about, where we, again, love unconditionally, where we are supporting people when they are going through something. And when we do that, we are really being the church that the Bible talks about.
I can't really think of a specific disappointment. And, I agree with what has already been said about just missing folks that, made an impact. And, I miss their voice or just, their smile or their prayers or whatever. But the only other thing I would bring up, and I feel like Alvin does a good job of like shielding us from this, but just, any external criticism outside of the group that, we may get from people is a bit disappointing. And then other than that, might have been disappointed a couple times by Los's musical choices. I'll just leave it there.
I was waiting on the gunshots to go off, so now
Don't stop. Get it.
we're gonna start. We're gonna start firing rounds now. All right. So y'all ain't gonna never let that slide, but that's okay, man. That's okay. I don't think I've ever had any disappointments with anything that has been shared or presented. I will say though, early on, I had disappointments with people who would only show up when they were presenting, or they would only show up or post things on the social media when they were promoting themselves or promoting their business or their devotional. I'm like, that always comes off as selfish to me, even though it may not necessarily be the case. It just it feels that way, man. So one thing I like is how we are the ones to really control the content. We are the ones responsible for the content. I am gonna say this though, man, and this ain't no shot, but and Christina, I noticed, when the ladies was teaching this week or this month, boy, the numbers tripled. You know what I'm saying? The numbers doubled or tripled, and the responses was quick. But it seems like soon as we teaching, it's like, oh man, ain't nobody got nothing to say. So I'm only poking fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all good. But it's like y'all was bringing out some bomb lessons too, and I was over here like, man, I need to like evaluate my whole life, my whole teaching process, and my whole delivery process, because I'm over here feeling like going back to the drawing board.
But I think that's good though. That's good that we there's challenge, man. That the month was thorough and well thought out. Um, when it's my week, I'm bringing that every single time. Like it's my last time. Because I just think that, man, like I don't know, I'm just really starting to see this call as a lifesaver. We've had people who have said, "Man, I've had suicidal thoughts. I'm battling depression. I'm struggling. I don't even want to live no more, man. I ain't been to church. I'm not, I don't know about this Christianity. Like we've had people say these things, and and when there's a good chunk of folks that have never met each other physically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even on our our this inaugural podcast, if you will. Like I've never met Christina, right? But that's my sister, and if she needs something, she knows that she can give me a call or shoot me a message or whatever it may be. And I just think that's what this call is kind of built. I wouldn't necessarily say I have any disappointments. I don't really get disappointed too easily as it
Hey,
pertains to
real
stuff.
quick, Vince, real quick before you go forward, man. I'm sorry to cut you off, but why have you not met Christina yet? Since we talking about disappointments, why?
Because Christina ain't came to
Oh,
came to Ohio.
why? Look, Vince been talking about coming to the Bay Area for a year. Hey, I'm coming to Oakland. I'm coming.
Hey, he big time now. Hey, Loso, you gonna have to get in line. He big time now, bro. So you know what I'm saying. He got to get on his calendar. He got a calendar now. You know what I'm saying. And a secretary too.
I'm there in spirit, man. Nah, man, I'm gonna get there, man. I really am. I am, and I need to. I'm gonna get there. I was gonna come. I was gonna come, man, but the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Cut his mic off.
Hey, Loso. Hey, I don't believe him either.
Hey, man, I'm coming out that way, man. I'm about to be out that way in a couple weeks.
You gonna be in? Where you gonna be in Temecula?
No, I'm gonna be in Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
Hey man, I'm bringing me and the family. We coming to Phoenix, man. I mean, I do have, I have aspirations of taking a little trip down to I-10, man, to see what Los Angeles talk about. Cause I ain't been out there in a minute. But
Holla at your boy.
oh, you already know. I'm gonna get there, Los. Hey man, Los. Hey man, good things come to those who wait. Hey, patience is for things. Long suffering is for people. God asks you to have both. So,
I'm scared.
Oh man.
oh,
Hey
I'm not
man,
scared, man.
like this is I know we're ending this inaugural, this first episode, man, this introduction of who we are. But man, I can't wait till we are all in the same space, like literally physically in the same space. This is gonna be so hilarious. I didn't get to experience like youth conferences, but I just feel like we're gonna have a pillow fight, man. This is going down. It's gonna be a big old pillow fight, and we're gonna play some dominoes and spades and just have a great time in the Lord. That's a part of what Coast to Coast is about too. Is making sure at some point in the near future we get together. If it's just a fellowship, a weekend hanging out, if it's a conference, whatever it is. We are definitely in the mindset of doing things outside of the call on Thursdays, outside of this podcast. We got things in the works. We got things that we're doing, so y'all be on the lookout.
I think maybe we should see if Uncle Luke could send us an instrumental and we could use that as our intro music.
Don't stop, edit. It wasn't even an edited version, brother. They got an edited version.
Hey, Los's face is forever etched in my mind, bro. When that lyric crossed, he's like,
he was embarrassed. He was like, "Oh my god!" I've never seen Los embarrassed. He was embarrassed, like, "Yo."
Yes, man. I'm responsible for the music, the slides during virtual worship. So I take that serious, man. And when I fumbled right there, I was like, oh man, I'm about to get kicked out the church.
All is forgiven, bro. You see, I ain't brought it up ever again.
We still gonna talk about
not forgotten.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We forgive you, but it's not gonna be forgotten ever. We're gonna talk about it forever, bro. That's a classic moment. Bro. That's a classic. That's going down in the archives. Ever.
It's all good, man. Like Mike Epps said on next Friday, man, players mess up.
For sure. You get knocked down 7 times, get up 8 times, brother. You keep on rocking. Yep. Man, I can't wait till we have some outro music, man. Nothing from Miami though, none of that Miami Boom music. Jonathan, whatever beats you put together, throw something out there. We're gonna have music and everything on this thing, right? Hey, I got bars. So if you got some beats, give me some tracks so I can mess them up.
I'm about to say you got bars of soap, man. You ain't got no bars.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Hey, if you got some spoken word type of stuff, man, I can get down with that. All right, I guess this is what I'm saying, this is Coast to Coast. This is us, man. We don't want to be too long and we don't want to be too short, but we in here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I'm Alvin Eddington Jr., the big homie.
And I think we should tell people when the call is, man. We can't just get off.
We kept saying we said Thursday every 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead. Tell them when the call is, Vince.
The call is Thursdays at 7 o'clock.
Wait, 7 what time? It's 6:30 p.m. Man, you don't even know what the call is?
Hey, no, it's 9.
It used to be 7:30. We changed the call.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. It's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time and 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. And if you live in the great state of Texas, you can hop on at 8:30. That's the time that we can get on the call.
Unless you're in El Paso, because
I was about to say, what if you're in El Paso, brother?
They don't count.
We love you.
I was just glad we love El Paso.
10% of our audience.
Do we got people from El Paso on the call?
No, we don't.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
Not
Not
yet. But
yet,
when
huh?
we do, we don't want them thinking we disloyal, man. Relax. Mr. Texas Longhorn himself. I mean, the great state of Ohio State. Oh, what are you? The Phoenix Cardinals? I forget.
It's
One of
the
them states.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna correct me on all your squads. But man, yeah, so that's what the call is every Thursday. Every Thursday, rain, snow, sleet, or shine. Yes, on Thanksgiving, we get in there, we do prayers. May not be a full call, but we don't miss a Thursday. So you're more than welcome. If you're looking for the Zoom information for the call, what is that information? We don't have that readily available for the folks. They can come to Facebook and be a part of our group, which is Coast to Coast. We're a private group, so you have to be one of our friends and request to be a part of the group, and we'll add you to the group. We rarely publicize the call publicly on our Facebook and Instagram spaces because we are intimate. We share a lot, but you guys who tune into this podcast are more than welcome to be a part of the family. And we try to keep the general church shenanigans out of the way too. So we just kind of, we're kind of trying to stay low key. We try, but they see us. What else we got? That's it. That's Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast, man. First one in the books. You feel me?
We in there like swimwear.
You understand me?
And like I was saying, I'm the big homie, Alvin Eddington Jr. Who are you, guys?
Let me see, man. Who am I, man? I'm the DJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm the DJ.
The DJ non-scratch.
Yeah. DJ Biblos.
DJ Biblos. I'm the big homie. That's DJ Biblos.
And I'm Organized Noise.
Ah, that's nice. I like that.
Good, man.
Keep it organized noise. Use organized.
South got something to say, baby. That's all I got to say.
Oh man, you're not even from the South. You from South Central.
Since Jonathan's being all poetic, I'm gonna say I'm a quiet storm.
Ooh, wait, look at that. Quiet storm.
I like that. That's good.
Oh, man.
That's Crenshaw right there.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything creative, man.
The multicolored, the men of many colors, because you got many teams. You got a very colored tunic.
Hey man, I'm just, I'm from the Southwest to the Midwest. Man, you gotta do better than that, brother. From the Southwest to the Midwest, I love this call, man. I appreciate y'all. And I'm thankful for y'all putting up with me, man. I'm just a regular dude, man. That's just who I am, man. And I'm just happy. I'm happy y'all made space for me to be here, man.
Oh, this guy. He's the GOAT. That's why. There he is, the GOAT. Because Vince is the GOAT. He's the greatest amongst us. You know what I'm saying? He's an author, senior pastor extraordinaire. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. So he's the GOAT. He don't want to call himself that. You stay humble, brother. We're gonna call you the GOAT. Not the Billy GOAT either.
I'm thankful for what God has allowed me to do, and I would like to think that I'm pretty good at what I do. But
thank you what you do, my brother. Great at it. Oh man, so pick up Vince's book. Society, the leader that society did not choose. The leader that society did not choose. You pick it up at Amazon or Barnes and Noble, or you can call them directly at 614. I'm just kidding.
Hey, chill out, bro.
But for real, pick up that book, man. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get on the best sellers list so that, Vince can take us to Italy like Magic Johnson take his friends. That's it. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed. Stay west.
Midwest.
East, north, and south. Because the South got something to say.
Sound business.